And welcome back to the Planetary Forecast. I'm here with your weekly forecast for August 2nd to August 8th. And this breakdown is going to start off with Sunday. As I'm recording this, we are going through a full moon, and that full moon is bringing clarity around our goals, our community, and our future we're building. As this week progresses, the energy is going to shift into a more emotional release and then into grounding and practical action, encouraging us to slow down and really listen to our intuition and focus on what we can actually support as of our long-term growth. And by the end of the week, we'll be inviting in nurturing more so ourselves, expressing our creative ventures, and clear space for a more healthier, more organized chapter ahead. So for Sunday, we're going to be kicking off a full moon, of course. With this full moon, it's going to be bringing us a chance to really develop what is going on beneath the surface. Aquarius encourages us to look at the bigger picture, our friendships, our communities, our future goals, and the parts of ourself that may be ready to break away from old expectations. Aquariuses are always ever changing, ever evolving, and with that coming in with the moon energy, you're definitely going to be looking into what you can do to shed off that skin. This is a powerful day to recognize how far you've come, celebrate your progresses, and release anything there that is no longer aligning with you and the person that you're becoming. So a lot of introspection, a lot of asking you who you are, who you have become, and what you need to let go of that is who you used to be. So a lot of clarity, emotional release, future vision, community and connection, future freedom, definitely are going to be focuses this with this energy today and possibly on to tomorrow when we start phasing into the waning phases. So you definitely want to watch for feeling emotionally detached. Aquarius energy tends to bring that, or trying to intellectualize feelings instead of actually processing them. You know, as much as we want to rationalize and really logically understand everything, not everything needs to be picked apart, especially emotions. So don't be afraid to acknowledge when your heart is telling you something. As of the moon highlights, once we kick off of that full moon energy, we're going to be, of course, waning into the next phases, into the new moon for the following week, I believe. So with that, we're going to be waning to through Pisces, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer, Leo, and then Virgo. So that's a little bit of emotional release, transformation energy, as well as grounding energy, and just a lot of emotion and grounding, with a hint of creative flow with the Leo coming through. As the lunar cycles move towards the last quarter moon in Taurus on Tuesday, the focus shifts from emotional realization towards grounding, simplifying, and deciding what is truly worth maintaining. By the end of the week, the waning crescent moon encourages rest, organization, and preparation for the next lunar cycle, and that's that Virgo energy, really asking for that organization and preparation, as well as the rest from the wane. Recognizing what has reached a turning point. That's going to be one of the focuses for the lunar week, releasing what no longer serves us. That's that Aquarius energy, grounding emotional insights and practical action. That's that Taurus energy, nurturing yourself and your loved ones. I'm definitely getting that with Cancer. Reconnecting with creativity and self-expression, that Leo energy, clearing physical and emotional clutter, Virgo for sure, and then preparing for your next chapter. That's definitely Taurus and Virgo energy all together. But yeah, with the solar weather as well, we're going to be expecting moderate levels for the full moon today, but we're going to be moving down into a more quieter condition for the rest of the week. The greatest potential for increased solar activity appears near the beginning of the week, with flare activity gradually trending a little bit afterwards, but the chance for the CMEs is pretty moderately low. So we probably won't be getting a lot of activity. However, for today, there is going to be a heightened increase of emotional and energetic activity. So you may feel a little bit sensitive. In case that happens, you know exactly where that's coming from. It's really just the current energy settling in from the increased solar activity for today. As of the planetary highlights, we have the Mercury retrograde, still retrograding Neptune and Pluto. Mercury encourages us to slow down, review communication, and reconsider plans before making important decisions, as well as the Neptune retrograde inviting us to separate intuition from illusion and look more deeply into our dreams, our beliefs, and our inner guidance. Excuse me. And then Pluto, it continues as well, supporting long-term inner transformation and helping us recognize patterns that may need to be released. So that's where that purging is coming from. And as this is a preparation week for what is to come in the next chapter, Pluto is really asking us to really transform. So expect that to be one of the higher energies coming through. Biggest planetary story this week is less about the dramatic planetary shifts and more about the full moon's illumination, followed by the moon's transition into releasing and grounding cycle. As the week progresses, the energy becomes less about what do I need to change and more about what practical steps will actually help me change. So this week's focus is, of course, those allowing those revelations to surface, release what has had its expiration date, ground emotional insights in practical action, nurturing our relationships and our emotional well-being, but also our relationship with ourselves. Never forget yourself this week. Make sure for creative, authentic self-expression that you are making time for that. Organize your environment and your priorities, and just make sure you're trusting the process for when it comes to clearing out space for your new beginning. Quick advice for those who are navigating the tides: don't make any permanent decisions solely on emotion. There's going to be a little bit of a heightened emotional field, so you may feel a little bit tempted to do something. So just make sure you really evaluate your thoughts and your plans, and that you're not planning things out of strictly emotion. Use the full moon to acknowledge what needs to become clear. This is the perfect time to really channel that energy needed for release while the full moon is still at play today. Let go of what no longer serves or was no longer meant for you to carry. When emotions feel overwhelming, return to simple grounding routines, having some tea, taking a walk, really doing some introspection, asking yourself what's going on, just taking some time to take a pause, I feel like is what's going to be needed. Give yourself permission to rest and recharge. Make sure that you have time for creative things that bring you joy. Towards the end of the week, organize your plans and prepare for what's next. And not every ending needs to be replaced immediately. Sometimes you need to leave the space open for some things that can better grow. So don't feel like you need to nip everything in the bud this week. But yeah, it seems like it's going to be a very, I'm not getting eventful, but I'm getting a preparous week, something that is going to be laying down the foundation for the next weeks to come. So really do make sure that you are preparing not only your surroundings, but yourself, your vessel for this next coming chapter. Whether it is taking more time to rest, whether it is changing up your routine to make time for certain things that you want to be more of a focus for you, whatever you have to do to make sure that you are tending to you and what is going to be more aligned with your next chapter is what needs to be your focus. But yeah, try to take it easy today, guys. Don't forget about yourselves and have fun. You got this.